Right, we're working backwards. So today, this spiral is due Friday, which is January 30th, I think.
No.
Friday, June.
I believe.
Friday's the.
Wait, if today's the 25th,
January 26th.
29th.
29th.
29th? Okay.
29th.
So the first column on the left, we're getting a lot better at these. Rounding, make sure just reading the directions. And what do we do when we have a decimal? Do we leave that 9? Do we make it a 0? Do we drop it? What do we do with that 9 on a decimal? When we round a decimal, what do I do with the decimal digits after the number that we round to? Sam?
You just don't.
We just drop it. That's right. Here you need to name the place value, which is a word. Pay attention to the decimals. Here you need to name the value, which is a number. Again, pay attention to the decimals. Okay. So this is vocabulary. You have to actually divide this problem and then put the quotient, remainder, dividend, divisor. We've been doing that for a couple of weeks, so that should not seem new to you. Okay, make sure you pay attention to the symbol. Add, subtract, add back to check, multiply, divide, multiply back to check. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. Okay, let's not forget here on the fractions that we need to find an equivalent fraction with the denominator 18. Okay, something is going on because I wrote, there we go. I think I just was moving the paper. Okay, here, what minus 12 will give me 28 and 9/10? 1 and 7/10 times 3. Write 82 and 53/100 as a mixed number and a decimal. Which digit is in the tens place? Which digit is in the tenths place? List the factors for 28. The factors are the numbers that you can multiply to get to 28. List the first 4 multiples for 7. We did this last week. A few of you listed factors. The multiples for 7 are like when you're counting by 7. Okay, remember 9C means 9 times C. And then subtract 27. Okay, here we have a rule using variables. Okay, it's a one-step rule. But don't forget, when we have if it's multiplication, that you need to write it like this. Not using the multiplication symbol. Okay, let's come back up here to the area of this triangle. Who can remember the formula for the area of the triangle? Brady.
Base times height.
Well, close. Very close. Noah? 1/2 base times height. So this is your height. This is your height of this triangle. That's the tallest point. You could even write h equals 10 there. This is your base still all the way across. Okay? So you need to cut the base in half and then multiply it by the height. It's pretty easy. Okay? Then for our perimeter, we have the 3 sides. We just need to add those together. That's pretty easy. Okay, don't forget that you need to use a ruler. Okay, and please make sure that you're drawing what it says. Last week it was line segment, and many people missed it because they drew lines. Okay, here you have to draw 2 things. Let's highlight that. Line WE and make it perpendicular to line segment DG. So there's a line and a line segment, and it needs to be perpendicular. Okay, Ryan is 16 years old. He earns $10 an hour, each hour, and works 9 hours per week at his job. He really wants to save for his first car. He found a used car that really interests him. He also learned that he has to pay for car taxes, the title of the car, and the license plate. How many weeks will it take Ryan to earn enough money to buy the car as well as pay for the taxes, titles, and plate shown? How many weeks? I hope Ryan doesn't spend any of his money on any other items. He must work a full hour to get paid. He can't work part of an hour, and he gets paid each Saturday. So if you do the math and you figure that he can work 7.5 hours and have enough money, then he has to work 8 hours. He can't work part of an hour. He has to work a whole hour. Up here are our important numbers and units. $2,793. And then the taxes, title, and plates are $235. Now, this is something that we're going to start doing. I told you last week that we are going to start really honing in on writing with the RACE strategy to solve our math, to explain our math story problems. Previously, you have only had to do this on the level 4 questions, but starting on our next post-test, you will have to do it to be a level 3. Okay? If you'll just take a minute and open your math, your math journal to page 8. It outlines the RACE writing strategy for you. And we are going to practice one like this together today. Okay, just like in language arts, the first two are to restate and answer the question. We have all been doing this all year with all of our problem solving. So we should be able to check this off. We are experts at restating and answering the question. Occasionally, I have to remind people to put a period or a capital letter, but we are all pretty good at restating and answering the question. Page 8. That C, instead of citing evidence, it's citing equations. You are going to tell the equation that you used. Okay? So after you restate and answer your question, your next sentence is going to start with the word first. First I multiplied, or first I added, or first I subtracted, and then you're going to list the entire equation, okay, including the answer. And then after you say the equation, first I multiplied 7 times 5 because. You're going to say that because word, and that's going to lead you to the E, explain. First I multiplied 7 times 5 because there are 7 children and each child will get 5 pencils. Okay, you have to explain each number. And you also in your equation need to tell the answer. So really you would say first I multiplied 7 times 5 equals 35 because there are 7 children and each child will get 5 pencils, or whatever the question is. Your cite and explain will be directly in the problem. Yes, Sam? Okay, just look off of mine right now. So, this week we're going to practice doing this cite and explain. Let's put on here, use page 8 in Math Journal. That will help you. Okay? Now, because this is new, I will take your spiral for a pre-check as long as you have all of it done except the race. If you have an answer here and have not put it in race format, I will take your spiral for a pre-check. Okay? but you'll have to have it in race format by Friday. The reason is we're going to be working on this race response all week. All week we're going to practice it. So by Friday you're going to be a lot better at it. So I will do the pre-check without it if you want to wait until we do it a couple times before you attempt it. Okay? Okay. Who wants a freebie? I won't give you this whole thing as a freebie, but I'll help you get started if that's what you pick. Who wants a freebie? Amanda.
I wanted the freebie for the multiplication.
This one? 98 times 73? What strategy do you like to use, Amanda?
I like to use
Partial products? Because it's, okay, do you like to use the area model?
I do think so, yeah.
Okay, so if I'm using the area model, if you want to use the standard algorithm or a different strategy, you can, and you can just use my answer to check your work. Over here on the left, we'll divide 98 into 90 plus 8. Over here on the right, we'll divide 73 into 70 plus 3. Then I need to multiply 90 by the 70 and 90 by the 3. 9 times 7 is 63. Add both of those zeros. 9 times 3 is 27. Add 1 0. 7 times 8 is 56. Add a 0. 3 times 8 is 24. My four partial products are 6,300, 270, 560, and 24. 15. 11. I am getting 7,154. Okay, I can do one more freebie for us. One more freebie, Harper. Sure. So the mixed number is 82 and 53 hundredths. That looks like this. 82 is my whole number, and then I write 53 hundredths as 53 over 100. As a decimal, I know that it's 82. The decimal point says and 53 hundredths. That's my hundredths place, so that's where my 3 needs to be. Yes, Claire?
Can also when you do the mixed number, can you make the fraction like that?
Yes, your fraction could also look like this, and that is fine. Okay, any other questions about the spiral review? Yes, sir.
Can you go back to the multiplication problem so I can
Yep. And I will give you a little class time. I'll try to give you a little class time today to kind of get started on this, which I think you had a couple minutes, but I know that race response might take you a little time. So I'm willing to give you a little class time to get started so that you hopefully don't have a whole lot of homework. Okay?